Most people understand ambition as a personal thing. You want something for yourself, your name on something, your life looking a certain way, your future built according to something you decided. That's the version of ambition that gets talked about, the personal one. But I carry something else alongside that, a future that isn't only mine, a vision that has someone else in it. Not as a side character, not as a detail, but as something I'm genuinely building toward. Life I want to help make real for someone I care deeply about. And that second weight is different. It doesn't sit the same way personal ambition does, it's quieter somehow, and what it does to how you move through the day, how you work, how you rest, how you think about what any of this is actually for. I don't think I have ever tried to say it out loud before. My own goals feel like mine to lose, meaning if I fall short on something I wanted for myself, that's on me. I carry that, I sit with it, I adjust and try again. The consequences stay inside my own life, and that feels manageable even when it's hard. But when you carry a vision for someone else, the stakes feel different because now the falling short isn't only yours. The gap between what you're building and what you want to build for them, that lands differently. It doesn't stay contained to you, it extends outward into a life that isn't your own. And I don't mean that as a pressure in a negative way, I mean it as a different kind of weight, one that takes you to the work more seriously, one that makes the lazy morning feel less acceptable, one that sits with you through the things that would otherwise be easy to give up on. It changes the texture of motivation entirely. I have this image in my head, clear and specific, a school, a real one, built properly with a curriculum that actually prepares people for life, finance, investing, how to think, how to build, and someone I love running it, leading it, being the person at the center of something that matters to hundreds of people, and separately, hospitals, private. Excellent. I know how that sounds. I'm 18, I have no business talking about hospitals and schools. The gap between where I am right now and where that vision lives is almost embarrassingly large. But the image doesn't care about the gap. It just sits there, fully formed, patient, waiting for the work to catch up for it. And what's strange is this vision, the one that belongs to someone else, sometimes feel more motivating than the things I want for myself. Like it has clarity that personal ambition doesn't always have. A reason that goes beyond me and somehow because of that becomes more solid. But there's a complicated side to this too. Because carrying a vision for someone else means carrying something they didn't ask you to carry, and that creates quite tension you have to sit with. They have their own ideas about their life, their direction, their own pace, and your vision for them. However loving, however real, is still your vision. You built it in your head, you furnished it, you made it detailed and specific and true feeling, but it's yours. And the person it's about is a full human being with their own relationship to their own future. So there's this thing I have to keep checking. Am I building towards something real, something we are moving toward together, or am I just building a projection, a version of someone else's life that lives primarily in my imagination and serves, at least partly, my own need to have something meaningful to work for? That question doesn't have a clean answer, but I think I'm asking it matters. What it does to how I work on daily level is hard to explain cleanly, but I'll try. On the mornings where my own reasons feel thin, where the business feels slow and the results aren't there, and the alarm at 5 a.m. feels like a bad joke, the other vision is still there, untouched by the slow day, unaffected by doubt. Because it's not about me, and things that aren't about you are harder to argue yourself out of. You can talk yourself out of your own ambition. You can negotiate with yourself. You can say, one more hour of sleep, one more slow week, one more month before I really push. And your personal ambitions, if it's tired enough, will sometimes agree. But the vision that has someone else in it, specifically someone you love, someone real, that doesn't negotiate as easily. It just looks at you quietly and you get up. I have thought about whether this is healthy, whether it is good to be this motivated by something outside yourself, whether building for someone else is a stable foundation or whether it's a dependency, outsourcing your reasons to a relationship in a way that could become fragile. And I think that honest answer is somewhere in the middle. It's not the only reason I work. My visions are real too. The things I want for myself are genuine, but the other thing, the school, the hospital, the future I carry for someone else, that acts as a stabilizer, the constant something that doesn't fluctuate with mood or results or whether I am feeling confident that week. And I think that's okay. I think caring about someone enough to build toward their future is not weakness in your motivation, it's actually clarifying force. It makes the work feel like it has a point outside your own ego. And the work that has point outside your own ego tends to be more durable than the work that doesn't. I don't talk about this one out loud much. The personal ambitions I can share, the business, the brand, the channel, those are explainable. Those have a structure people can follow. But this, carrying a future for someone you love before you have built much of anything yourself, that's harder to explain without sounding either too grand or too fragile. So I mostly just carry it quietly. In the mornings when the alarm goes off and there's no visible reason to move, this is part of what moves me. In the moments when the gap between the vision and the reality feels too big to take seriously, this is the part of what makes me take it seriously. I don't know exactly when or how that future becomes real. I don't know what shape it takes or how long it takes to build. I just know I'm building towards it steadily, quietly, with full weight of it somewhere in my chest at almost all times, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.